Welcome to another interesting episode of Elias Matter Station with Miss Blessing. Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day to you in whichever part of the world you're listening to me or watching me right now. I want to say thank you to everyone for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Welcome to LES Matter Station. This station it's about LES child, what they do, their habit, and so many things you need to know about them. So if you have subscribed and you have a close one who haven't, kindly tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Quickly today, we're going to be looking at another aspect of the child. We've been talking about sensitive period in the life of a child and how to maximize it. Today, I want to be talking about an aspect that I love to talk about so much when I'm working with parents, and it is the aspect of writing for a child. Yes, writing. Writing. Did you get that? Do you know that there is a sensitive period for writing? Okay, so I work with children between the age of 18 months to 36, 40 months, thereabout. And many times I have parents who come to me who have children between that 18 months, that's like 1.5 to 2 plus, telling me, oh, my child cannot write, his cousin can write 1 to 100, his cousin can write 1 to 200, when his sister was at his age or her age, they could write 1 to whatever number, Good as those things may be, they are not the essential things, the basic things your child need at that age. What is important is language skill, communication skill, ability to identify, ability to think and reason. And then I'm always like, okay, your son's cousin or the sister at the age when she could do all that, can they recognize the number? Because many a times the children just end up cramming and cramming and cramming, and when you try to manipulate these numbers for them to do more than just identification or just writing, they can't manipulate the numbers. So I want to tell you something you need to know today, that there is a sensitive period for writing, and that age is minimum of age 3. There is a place of readiness in a child. Now there could be some exception, of course. Some children could be prepared to start writing before age 3, at 2.5, 2.6. Before age 3 they could be prepared to start writing. But the truth is that minimally the child gets ready or is set to begin to write at age 3. Okay. This is the thing. Actually, children have sensitive period for writing. Montessori believes, and I've seen it work over time, age 3. I'm going to share a story with you. Some years back, I had a set of children who they brought to me when they were about a year plus, most of them. And the highest I had in my class then was a child of 2 years old. And of course, at that age, they do mostly with identification of their numbers, identification of sound, identification of object, learning to build their vocabulary, learning to build their language and communication skill, because that is very important. Let me digress a bit. On a lighter note, I tell parents, that your child is going to write for the rest of their life. So why are you rushing them? Give them the time to build their capacity in other areas. Back to what I was saying. So I had this child in my class, you know, who was learning really well, learning fast. His mom introduced this cousin to us, and they were both in my class. Fortunately, somehow he was, I think, about a month older than his cousin. And as the year progressed, I had the opportunity of teaching them for 2 sessions. And by that second session, many of them were clocking 3 3 3 3. This particular child clocked 3 in April, and or was going to clock 3 in April, and then his brother was going to, his cousin, so to say, was going to clock 3 in May. And so I think around January, February, if I'm not mistaken, um the other cousin who was going to be 3 May started writing. In fact, I remember the very day I told them, I reintroduced them to number 4, and the formation of number 4. He just went around the class writing a stroke, a dash, and a stroke, a stroke, a dash, and a stroke. And then this my little boy, who was going to be 3 by April, the best he could do was to write 1. But guess what? His communication skill was top notch. He could communicate well. Virtually everything we taught in the class, he could express himself about it. And for me, I wasn't bothered, because I just knew from my observation and assessment that this child wasn't ready. He wasn't ready for writing. And when he's ready, I'm sure he's going to catch up. So one day the mom came to me, and then she just came in the morning, and then Miss Blessing, Hawa refused to write. His cousin is already writing at home. Da 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 da. When I asked him to write, he would just go and hide at the back of the chair. And somehow, I don't even know where it came from that day. I just told her, I said, Madam, there is nothing wrong with your son. He's not just ready. When he's ready, he definitely would write. She said, I said, okay, so let's strike a deal. Your son isn't 3 yet, so why the bother? Don't worry. When your son becomes 3, when he turns 3 or 3 and some months, and he still isn't writing, please hold me responsible. I give you my word. And actually, when I said that, I was like, did I just say this? Did I just say this? But then I had assessed the child. There was nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with him. I knew his ability. I knew when he's ready to write, he will definitely write. And guess what? He clocked 3 in April. By May, he just suddenly picked interest in writing. In fact, I remember the particular morning, he would tell me, Miss Blessing, I want to write. I want to write. I want to write. Even down to the numbers or sounds that I haven't even introduced to them. He just looks at it, and tell me, this is sound, this. Meanwhile, before he even started writing, do you know he has started blending? He has started reading at least 2-letter sounds, because he could identify all his sounds. He could form he could form a word using sounds. He could identify his number. There are so many things he could do. So I wasn't bothered. So when he started writing, there was a morning his mom came back to me and was like, hey, Miss Blessing, tell your son, tell Awa, he's writing everywhere on my wall. And then I just kept looking at her like this. What am I saying? That is one out of many cases. I thank God that she cooperated with me, actually. Where am I going to? There are sensitive periods for writing. So parents who are always multi-pressures on teachers, my child at age 2, there are a lot of things the child should be learning other than just writing 1 to 100, 1 to 150. And sometimes some of them can't even identify this number. Before age 3, what a child should be concerned with is identifying at least 0 to 9 and be able to carry out activities around those numbers. Sometimes you find some children who can write 1 to the so-called 100 and tell them to count objects and tell you what the number is. Some of them can't do it. So what's the need of having or being able to write that lengthy amount of number, and they can't manipulate things. Parents, teachers, childminders, if you have anything to do with children within this age category, there's time for everything. If the child begins to write, show interest in writing before age 3, oh well and good. But if they don't, there are many other areas to develop them in. Read stories to them, make them identify things, create an activities for them that will improve their critical thinking skill. The world has gone beyond the writing thing. There is more to do with them at that age. Thank you for listening, for watching, for paying attention, for taking notes. I hope you have learned something. So please do subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you are yet to, just come in here and have a sneak peek. Please subscribe. Thank you.